let's see if we can go through these questions. So, for the following questions, write answers correct to 2 decimal places. We're going to be dealing a little bit with circumference around the place, so I'll write my formula. You've got circumference equals pi times d. We've also got circumference equals pi 2 pi r. Okay, they're the same thing really, because 2 times r will get you d anyways. All right, so 20 centimeter diameter is what is needed. So it's pretty much a cake. It's 20 centimeters from one side to the other. So you need to figure out the circumference. So that will be pi times d, because it's already given us a diameter. Pi times 20. I'll just put that in my calculator. Pi times 20, and I got 62.831. But the one will obviously round down, and that is in centimeters. That's number 6. When it comes to number 7, the shape of the property is a sector. It's got a radius of 80 meters, 120 degrees. So something like this. This is 80 meters. This is 80 meters. And it wants the amount of electric dog fencing that's going to be all the way around the outside, so all around the 80, and the arc. So you have to consider the angle that is, 120. So therefore it will be 120 over 360 times 2 pi, and then a radius of 80. So 120, you need to just put that in your calculator now. 120 divided by 360 times 2 times pi times radius of 80. That gets you 167. So that is the arc length. All the way around there, that's 167.55. We now need to add the 2 radius parts as well. 80 plus 80 is 160. 160 plus my 167.55 gives me the answer of 327.55 meters. That's how you do number 7. When it comes to number 10, we're going to do the same thing that we just did. This time we've got 100 degrees. So 100 over 360 times 2 pi 3, and that gets you 100 divided by 360 times 2 times pi times 3, 5.23, 5.235, which has to round up to 5.24. And now I've got to add the 3 meters here and the 3 meters there. So that's 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus my 5.24 gives me 11.24 meters. Now we're moving on to number 11. Number 11 is fairly easy. It just asks for the perimeter. So perimeter means adding up all the numbers on the outside. Chuck that in your calculator. 22 plus 35.6 plus 28 equals 85.6 meters. So that's your answer for A. Now for B, it says how many meters of timber. Keep in mind that it says it needs 3 railings of timber. So really you need to have 3 lots of that 85.6. So do your 85.6 times 3, and you end up getting 256.8 meters. That's your answer for 11B. And last one, then definitely the trickiest. So for this one, you have only a quarter of the cake left, which is 90 degrees for this curved section. Okay? But the thing is that then they end up cutting that into 4. So that means, despite my terrible drawing, that you've actually got 90 degrees that has been cut up into 4. So if you do 90 divided by 4, you end up getting 22.5. So the piece that you've got is actually going to have, it's only going to be very thin. I'll make it a slight bit fatter. It's actually going to have a little angle of 22.5, and it's going to have your 15 centimeter length either side. Okay, so like we've done before, we use our angles. 22.5 out of 360 times by 2 pi r is 15. So put in a calculator, 22.5 divided by 360 times 2 times pi times 15. That ends up getting me 5.89. So 5.89 centimeters is the length of the curve. And that's what we're looking for, is asking for the arc length of those slices, so we don't need to add the radius on top. So that's the answer for that one. Just don't forget your units. So that will be centimeters. And yeah, that's all done. Just let me know if you've got any questions.